the board chairman of GIMPA, who is unavoidably absent, the board chair of PURC, Dr. Bo Kwegrin, rector of GIMPA, the executive secretary of PURC, honorable ministers and members of parliament present, partners of PURC, academic board staff and members of GIMPA, the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to GIMPA. As I mentioned earlier, the chairman of GIMPA Council, who should have been our chair, is unavoidably absent. So the rector of GIMPA will play both roles. And so I have the pleasure to invite our rector, Professor Bonsu, to give his opening and welcome remarks.
Our special guest of honor, the Honorable Minister for Energy, Dr. Matthew Boku-Prempeh. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and thank you very much for being here with us. On behalf of the Governing Council of GIMPA, I'm here to welcome you and to thank you for being with us. We're very happy today to be here this morning and would like to welcome you to GIMPA, where beauty is second nature. I'm sure you've already noticed the beauty of our campus. If you've never been here, this is your first time, you notice the greenery. We care very much about the environment, and it adds to the beauty that we have to offer. But as you may be aware, all of us may be aware, GIMPA was set up some 62 years ago to support development of a professional corps of public servants for national development. Over the years, we have evolved to become what we are today, a university that offers degrees from the undergraduate through doctorates. As part of this evolution, we have sought partnerships with various entities to facilitate achievement of our goals. Today, we see expression of one of such partnerships in the launching of the GIMPA-PURC Center of Excellence in Public Utilities Regulation. This center seeks to contribute to the field of public utility regulation through research and training of experts in electricity, water, and natural gas. The center will conduct high-level policy-relevant research and encourage scholarly and public dialogues on utility regulation. The center will be a leading point of ideas and policies to support not only Ghana's PURC, but also similar institutions across the continent. In fact, I understand that steps have already been taken to make us a part of a broader body that is intended to achieve results for Africa and the world at large. We at GIMPA are very proud of this initiative, that we are making a contribution towards enriching the intellectual environment for utilities regulation in Ghana and across the world. A few other centers are in the works at GIMPA towards similar goals. So our focus is not just on public utilities regulations, but we're also looking at other things as well. This will include the GIMPA Konrad Adenauer Center for Policy Research and Political Action, which will be launched later this year. And it shall focus on understanding policy issues and its connection to the democratic process in Ghana and Africa. Another center that we are considering is the Professor SKB Asante Center for Trade and Negotiations. With the advent of the AfCFTA, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, we need to explore the dynamics of trade in Africa and prepare ourselves to take advantage of the opportunities that the AfCFTA presents to us. These centers and their work shall raise and reinforce the Institute's image as the leader in matters of leadership, governance, and public policy. And the launch of these centers coincide with our planned restructuring of the GIMPA School of Public Service and Governance into a hub of intellectual activities focused on the business of government and parastatal organizations. But I digress. Our focus here is on the PURC-GIMPA relationship. So today we are launching the GIMPA-PURC Center for Excellence. I can assure all of us that GIMPA will do her best to ensure that this center becomes the African leader on all matters related to utilities regulations. I wish, therefore, to invite all our stakeholders to join us in pursuit of this objective. May I take this opportunity then to thank the PURC leadership for working with us to establish the center, and thank you for recognizing GIMPA's value to understanding utilities regulation. A special thank you goes to Professor Adams and Professor Adom, both of GIMPA, and Dr. Ishmaelaka and his team for their tireless, or their teams for their tireless efforts in bringing the idea of a center of excellence to fruition. Without them, we would not have seen today, and we wouldn't be here talking about these issues that we are discussing. So let me conclude with what I describe as a proper welcome to GIMPA. Welcome to GIMPA, where beauty is second nature, second only to heaven. This hill is designed to nurture the talents of all who come to this hill in their tenure. Through rites, transformed into extraordinary creatures, and we're ready to serve the world and make our gains even larger. That is the GIMPA you are visiting today. That is the GIMPA that is coordinating with the PURC to ensure that we do well in understanding utilities and its regulations and all associated issues. So we'd like to thank you all very much for being with us here today, and we look forward to seeing you at various other events coordinated by the center. Thank you very much. God bless us all.
Thank you, Rector, for your warm welcome message. We've made some amendments to the program to enable the Minister to attend to an equally important function for here. And so permit me to introduce our guest of honor. I have just 2 words to describe him. He's a transformational leader. And if you disagree with me, please read his profile, which is detailed in the brochure. I say he's a transformational leader because under his leadership as Minister for Education, the tertiary education sector was transformed to the extent that post-retirement contracts for staff of the university was extended to allow us to retain talent. And so now professors can continue to 70 years, senior lecturers to 65 years. That's something that is great, and we thank the Minister for that. He's continuing his achievements still where he is now as Minister for Energy. I don't know how he's able to do it, because I'm not able to connect his background as a scientist to his leadership achievements. Maybe it's because he's an Amanfo. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome Dr. Matthew Obo.
I don't see the chairman here, but the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee, my very good friend and brother John Chinapo, is here. And the ranking member for Works, I haven't seen him here, he's supposed to be here. The chairman of the PURC, the executive secretary of the GIMPA, the executive secretary of PURC, current and past board members of PURC, staff of GIMPA, my own deputy minister, Soriku, development partners, heads of regulatory institutions, head of utility service providers, civil society organizations and academia, our friends from media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. That alone takes about 10 minutes, right? For me, it's a pleasure to be here as a guest speaker at the inauguration of the Center of Excellence in Public Utility Regulation. And I'm happy to be here because I've already said it. It is my own senior who is rector. After a lot of interactions with the universities as education minister, I learned not to even pass through Legon or pass through because after we worked hard to deliver Ghana tertiary education policy, the first of its kind, we proceeded to legislate. And though there was unanimity in Parliament, we couldn't do it. But I must put on record that some of the university campuses that read the bill, understood the bill, and supported the bill included GIMPA. They just didn't talk. They got themselves involved in the bill. And thanks to GIMPA lecturers for that. I was encouraged. The second reason why I'm here. Let me congratulate PURC on its 25th anniversary. I don't know if PURC will live for another 25 years, but let me congratulate you. 25 years. PURC is the only independent regulatory authority in this country. None. There's no independent regulator in this country, from EPA through Food and Drug Authority and whatever. I don't know how PURC wanted to carve a certain independence for itself, which doesn't work in theory, right? Because when they increase tariff, I'm blamed, and my brother is happy. When he's in power, they increase tariff, he's blamed, and I'm excited. I think the work PURC does is so important and fundamental that we have to support PURC going forward. But I'm not sure the next 25 years would, because myself and my brother and myself, we agree on a lot of things, and one of them is PURC and its future in our hands. So, 25 years in the life of an institution is absolutely significant. Having selected an anniversary theme based upon excellence, it is our expectation that PURC will challenge itself even more to attain higher laurels in the coming years, so as to consolidate its current place among the utility regulators. For a very long time, the debate has been ivory tower, industry, and government. And a country or two countries that I know that, or three that I know that combines these three institutions very, very well, powerful in their own way, is probably Germany, United Kingdom, and United States of America, where even if you're a politician and your government goes out of power, you find yourself in a research institution or think tank to develop new policies so that you wait patiently. You don't want to hurry your friend out, but you wait patiently till your friends get out of office for you to come up with new policies. So the integration or the nexus between academia, politics or governance for that matter, and research or think tank is very crucial if we do want our country to progress. And I hope that the example that is being set by PURC, other regulatory bodies will see the sense in it and then move regulatory authority from just allowing fake goods and things to come onto the market, but also really doing something sensible for all Ghana, for Ghana to move ahead. And I have to congratulate PURC for this center that it has so formed with GIMPA. This initiative, like I said, an institutional collaboration to promote and develop competencies and expertise in economic regulation for electricity, water and natural gas and other public utility services. As the theme for today perfectly puts it, utility sector professionalism is key to Africa's development. And so this is both timely and relevant. This is because emerging dynamics in the energy sector, including the energy transition and the energy security concerns, require a competent and skillful workforce that is ready to help position Ghana and Africa to secure sustainable outcomes for future generations. My ministry has already taken the lead in developing and implementing a roadmap for energy transition in Ghana. We must plan assiduously in the context of sustainable economic development. The National Energy Transition Framework was launched at last year's Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt during the COP27 by His Excellency the President. It sets out a clear blueprint for achieving net zero by the year 2070 in the context of economic growth. Our energy transition framework relies totally on resources generated internally, because so far, climate agenda promises of money or promises of technology has failed to be delivered. We feel that, yes, it is good for us to embark on an energy transition because we also need a cleaner environment, but we should not look elsewhere. If it comes, fine. If it doesn't, Ghana should still move on the energy transition agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, CEPUR is also irrelevant because in most cases, Africa has been the consumer of research findings and emerging ideas led or written by researchers who may not have experienced the socio-political landscape of the continent. Given the pedigree of GIMPA and the quality of its faculty members, it is my expectation that the Center will become a thought leader in developing innovative breakthrough research on utility regulations across the continent and beyond. I therefore entreat all policymakers, regulators, utility service providers, industry players, civil society organizations, the general public, desirous of acquiring knowledge in the economics of regulation, to make use of this center so as to build the expertise necessary to move the energy sector into the eminent future. Mr. Chair, I urge the PURC GIMPA Center of Excellence in Public Utility Regulations to take the call to research seriously. It must find innovative and effective ways of collaborating with industry and the corporate world to engage in quality and strategic studies aimed at finding practical solutions to real issues and actualize research findings to develop our economy. In my previous occupation as the Minister for Tertiary Education and other forms of education, we passed a research fund bill that needs to be populated or funded to enable that research in all these forms in this country is provided for and provisioned for so that Ghanaian researchers can produce the material worthy of moving the country to a next stage of economic development. Today marks a significant milestone in the journey of PRC as it launches its Center of Excellence in collaboration with GIMPA, together with the very first Ghana Utility Performance Index for 2021 developed by the PURC. The GUPI is an aggregated performance index which is computed to assess the performance of electricity and water utilities across the operational areas of Ghana. I urge all regulated utility service providers to take this exercise seriously to aid excellence in service delivery to its customers. Chair, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I wish to once again warmly congratulate PURC and GIMPA on the occasion of the launch of the Center of Excellence in Public Utility Regulation. I'll hold off the launch for my Honorable Deputy Minister Oreku to do that on my behalf. Long live the Center, long PURC, long live GIMPA. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, our special guest of honor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Ebo Kwegri, who is the chairman of the PURC. Mr. Chairman, you're welcome.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this august function. The special guest of honor, Honorable Minister of Energy, Dr. Matthew Opuku-Prempeh, honorable members of Parliament, Chairman and members of the GIMPA Council, current and past board members of PURC, members of the Diplomatic Corps, management and staff of utility companies, and friends from the media, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. PURC is 25 years old. 25 years in a multi-sector utility regulation has positioned the Commission to contribute in several ways to national development and mentor relatively new regulators across the continent. We have done this through fruitful collaborations, research, innovation, and development of regulatory systems. Indeed, in April this year, PURC will host 5 CEOs of utility regulatory institutions as part of the Africa Peer Review and Learning Network. In 2022, Ghana's energy regulators, PURC and Energy Commission, were ranked number 4 in the Africa Development Bank Group's Electricity Regulatory Index for Africa. This continent-wide achievement is an indication of progress made by both commissions in strengthening regulatory accountability, utility efficiency, economic and technical regulation, as well as transparency in tariff frameworks in Africa. The PURC has developed the Tariff Reckoner app to enable consumers of electricity and water services calculate their cost of usage of services rendered by utility services and instituted consumer clinics to support the utilities to address challenges faced by customers promptly. We have developed a net metering reckoner to encourage investments in solar energy, invested in regulatory audits to enhance efficiency of utilities in both energy and water sectors. We have also established the water and electricity laboratories to check the quality of services consumers receive. We believe will facilitate peer learning and productivity among regional operating areas of our facilities and utilities. It is this drive to enhance capacity development, efficiency, and innovation among regulators and entities and strengthen regulation in Ghana and beyond that this center is established with GIMPA. Clearly, GIMPA has evolved to be one of the best training and research institutions on the continent. Importantly, the Institute shares our resolve to contribute to national development through cutting-edge research, peer learning, and capacity development. We believe that given the right tools, desire, and knowledge, the committed African is capable of managing his or her affairs. Now, these are Kwame Nkrumah's words. These are not mine. The Commission thanks GIMPA for working with us to make this center a reality. For us, the partnership is essential in our quest to achieve and sustain regulatory excellence. I thank the Honorable Minister and the guests for taking time to be part of this historic moment. God bless our country, Ghana, and God richly bless us all. Thank you for your attention.
Mr. Chairman, this occasion, invited guest, our special guest, Honorable Oreko, he says I should add acting. The chairman and board members, the commissioners of PURC, the chairman, board members of the council of GIMPA, director and management of GIMPA, management of PURC, the board committee members, I've seen Engineer Muna and others. The chairman of ERERA. ERERA is all the regulators in West Africa, our headmaster. So we are very honored for the ECOWAS regulator, the chairman, to be here. Please, a hand of applause for him coming. And when he heard about the center, I remember he paid a visit and told us that maybe we can have a Francophone version of the center in Benin. He has already started working to extend the center to other places. So we are grateful. 2 years ago, PURC had 5-year strategic plan. The plan was to ensure that utilities are very efficient so customers can benefit, so we can cut down on waste, so Ghana's utility sector, both for energy and water, will be a good place for others to learn from. A number of interventions were implemented. Prominent among these was establishment and investment in the regulatory audit unit. But one of the most important interventions was the Ghana Utility Performance Index. Now, over the years, we see utilities going outside to learn from best practices. Nobody has defined what best practice is. But the assumption is that the African has to go outside to go and learn so that they can come and implement. Though this may not be a bad practice, at times the environment in which some of these institutions are may be different from our environment. Socio-political environment may be different. Somewhere, electricity prices change almost daily, somewhere weekly. If you try that in Ghana, I don't think PURC will survive. So it is very important to learn from ourselves. But how do we do that? We can do that through a number of means. So what PURC did was to visit all operational areas of our utilities. So for instance, when you go to the Bono region, the Ghana Water Office there makes a non-revenue loss of less than 30%. When you go to Tema, they are making more than 40%. What is Sunyani doing that Tema is not doing? What can Sunyani teach Tema? What can Accra teach Kumasi? These are very, very important lessons. Localizing innovation, learning from ourselves. So we decided to create an index, the Ghana Utility Performance Index, to look at certain indicators that have been developed by both PURC and Energy Commission, developed by the Ghana Water Resources Commission. We had a number of literature review to look at other areas and said, let us look at these indicators. After developing the indicators, we have what we call validation. So can we call the utilities and ask them that we're going to grade you based on these indicators? Do you think they are fair? And we thank ECG, we thank NEDCO, Ghana Water Enclave, and the Energy Commission for making strategic input. So at the end of the day, the index was created, gave us data, and we developed the 2021 Ghana Utility Performance Index. So today, I am happy. Happy for three reasons. Happy because today we are launching the center, a very significant milestone in both the lives of GIMPA and PURC. Happy because we are learning from ourselves. And hopefully with the partnership of Herrera, we're going to move beyond Ghana and learn among ourselves in the sub-region. And happy because this was not developed by a consultant. It was developed by internal staff of PURC. I thought you would clap for them. Using modern methods and econometrics, modern tools, a lot of engagement, under the chairmanship of the only professor of utility regulation in Africa, Professor Colley. Engineer Oblite, Israel Amanfia, Mamiesi Eshen, Brian, and other relevant members of the team. I'm very proud of you. I am proud of you that we saved. In fact, we tried to do this, get a consultant. He said it would take $500,000. I mean, that is more than our budget. Budget for PURC and all our 10 regions. So they said we can do it. And they've been able to do it. So Anne and others, I'm very grateful. And we thank you. So I stand here on behalf of the board, the management, and our partners, GIMPA, the Energy Commission, and all utilities in Ghana to launch the 2021 Ghana Utility Performance Index. I thank you, and God bless you. It will be on our website. Go there, download, see how they are performing, make inputs, and let's make our utility, energy, and water sector a better one. Thank you.